ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतः न शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। शारदा शारदाम्बुज वदना वदनाम्बुजे सर्वदा सर्वदास्माकं सन्निधिं सन्निधिं क्रियात्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारम् शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषम् पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अभाललोचनः शम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We'll read from page 69, second last line. कार्यविधि प्रयुक्तस्य एव ब्रह्मणः प्रतिपाद्यमानत्वात् आत्मा वा अरे द्रष्टव्यः इति य आत्मा अपहत पाप्मा सोन्वेष्टव्यः स विजिज्ञासितव्यः आत्मा इति एवुपासीत आत्मानम् एव लोकमुपासीत ब्रह्म वेद ब्रह्मैव भवति इत्यादि विधानेषु सत्सु कोऽसावात्मा किं तत् ब्रह्म इत्याकाङ्क्षायां तत्स्वरूप समर्पणेन सर्वे वेदान्ता उपयुक्ताः नित्यः सर्वज्ञः सर्वगतो नित्यतृप्तः नित्यशुद्ध बुद्ध मुक्त स्वभावः विज्ञानम् आनन्दम् ब्रह्म इतीवमादयः तदुपासनाच्च शास्त्रदृष्टः अदृष्टो मोक्षः फलं भविष्यतीति कर्तव्यविद्याननुप्रवेशे वस्तुमात्र कथने हानोपादानसंभवात् सप्तद्वीपावसुमती राजासौ गच्छति इत्यादि वाक्यवत् वेदान्तवाक्यानाम् अनर्थक्यम् एव स्यात् ननु वस्तुमात्र कथने अपि रज्जुरियं नायं सर्पः इत्यादौ भ्रान्तिजनितभीति निवर्तनेन अर्थवत्त्वं दृष्टम् तथा इह अपि असंसारी आत्मवस्तुकथनेन संसारित्वभ्रान्तिनिवर्तनेन अर्थवत्त्वं स्यादेतदेवम् यदि रज्जुस्वरूप श्रवण इव सर्पभ्रान्तिः संसारित्वभ्रान्तिः ब्रह्मस्वरूप श्रवण मात्रेण निवर्तेत न तु निवर्तते श्रुतब्रह्मणो अपि यथा पूर्वं सुखदुःखादि संसारी धर्मदर्शनात् श्रोतव्यो मन्तव्यः निदिध्यासितव्यः इति च श्रवणोत्तरकालयोः मनन निदिध्यासनयोः विधि दर्शनात् तस्मात् प्रतिपत्ति विधि विषयतया एव शास्त्र प्रमाणकम् ब्रह्म अभ्युपगन्तव्यम् इति अत्राभिधीयते न कर्म ब्रह्म विद्याफलयोः वैलक्षण्यात् शारीरं वाचिकं मानसं च कर्म श्रुति स्मृति सिद्धं धर्माख्यम् यद विषया जिज्ञासा अथातो धर्म जिज्ञासा इति सूत्रिताः अधर्मोऽपि हिंसादिः प्रतिषेध चोदना लक्षणत्वात् जिज्ञास्यः परिहाराय तयोः चोदनालक्षणयोः अर्थानर्थयोः धर्म अधर्मयोः फले प्रत्यक्षे सुख दुःखे शरीर वाङ् मनोभिः एव उपभुज्यमाने विषेन्द्रिय संयोगजन्ये ब्रह्मादिषु स्थावरान्तेषु प्रसिद्धे मनुष्यत्वात् आरभ्य ब्रह्मान्तेषु देहवत्सु सुख तारतम्यम् अनुश्रूयते ततश्च तद्धेतोः धर्मस्य तारतम्यम् गम्यते धर्म तारतम्यात् अधिकारी तारतम्यम् प्रसिद्धं चार्थित्व सामर्थ्यादि कृतम् अधिकारी तारतम्यम् यथा च यागादि अनुष्ठायिनामेव विद्या समाधि विशेषात् उत्तरेण पथागमनम् केवलैः इष्टापूर्त दत्त साधनैः धूमादिक्रमेण दक्षिणेन पथागमनम् तत्रापि सुखतारतम्यम् तत्साधनतारतम्यम् च शास्त्रा यावत् सम्पातम् मुषित्वा इत्यस्मद्गम्यते तथा मनुष्यादिषु नारकस्थावरान्तेषु सुखलवश्चोदनालक्षणधर्मसाध्य एवेति गम्यते तारतम्येन वर्तमानः। We had been seeing the fourth sutra, and in this sutra we had seen Tat and Tu was going on. So in this Tu word, Shankaracharya Bhagavan is negating all other Purupaksh. So there were 3 Purupaksh, and in that 3 Purupaksh we were seeing the Purmimamsa Purupaksh. So after the Purmimamsa Purupaksh was negated, there were few points which we had seen. So there were Siddha Bodhak Vakya and Karma or Karya Bodhak Vakya. They said that how can Siddha Bodhak Vakya do anything, and therefore they are not Praman, because Praman requires Phalavatvam. So it was proved that Siddha Bodhak Vakya also can remove the sorrow. If there is ignorance about the object, so Siddha Bodhak Vakya alone removes the sorrow. Then it was asked that how can Atma Gyan be possible, because we already have Atma Gyan. They say no, Atma Gyan is possible because we don't have the knowledge of Atma as Brahman. Then they had asked this point, that how is it that Karma Kand is Mukhya Praman and the Vedant is indirect or Saha Praman. This was also negated, that if you say like that, then actually the Karma Kand is apramanik, because this is negated by Atma Gyan. After clearing these points, and if you say that the karma should be associated, rather Vedanta should be associated with the meaning of karma, this is also not possible, because after the knowledge takes place, the association of the karta, karma, ityadi is asambhav. Now, this was taken, then we heard Vrittikar Matam came up. And this Vrittikar, what did he say? He said that Brahma Asti, and Brahma alone is the main theme of the Upanishads, where the Purvamimamsa was not accepting that. But I accept this point. Only but where you don't accept? I don't accept on one point. You say that the Gyan will happen, Brahma Gyan gives moksha. I have an objection to this point. I feel Brahma Gyan coupled with Upasana gives moksha. That means Upasana is after Brahma Gyan. He is not talking of Upasana before Brahma Gyan. He is not talking of the Upasana as a preparatory step for Brahma Gyan. He is talking of the the Upasana being auxiliary to Brahma Gyan for moksha. This was our point. Yesterday here is where we left. So, then it was asked, and then he quoted the Shruti Atma Eva Upasita, just now you read. To that point, Shankaracharya Bhagavan says, various places only Ved word has been written, Vidhi word has been written. So he said, wherever Vidhi word has been written, you can see, you can include Upasana in that Vidhi portion. So, Keval Jnanena Moksham na Bhavati. This is the, so Upasana Yukta Jnanena Eva Moksham Bhavati. So he is saying by Upasana, after Brahma Jnana, Punya is created, and that Punya is the one which gives the moksha. This is the point which he is trying to put. Okay. Now, so Atma, so people should do Upasana after Brahma Jnana. So Keval Brahma Jnanena Moksham na Bhavati, Brahma Jnanena Anantam, Brahma Upasana Kartavya. This is his point. So Brahma Upasanena Adrishtam or Punyam Bhavati, Tena Punyena Moksha Sambhavati. This he has added this point. So he is little advanced Purvapaksh than the Purvamimamsa. He has gone one step. He doesn't talk that there is nothing called Brahman, or Brahman is for praising the Devatas, and Asanga Nitya Shuddha word is for praising the Yajman. He doesn't say like that. So it was said now, Atma va are Shama Drashtavyaha. So he says, I'm not, and therefore he says, it was said, no, Atma va are Drashtavyaha. So it is said here. So it is a Vidhi Shabd is there. And Shrotavyaha, Shravan and Manan, that is not a problem. But Nididhyasitavyam has been mentioned, that Nididhyasitavyam indicates Upasana. He is saying Shravanam is the knowledge aspect. Shravanam and Mananam is the knowledge aspect. That is called Brahmagyan. But with Brahmagyan, see, he has quoted, therefore I read that line. And therefore, if the knowledge had taken place, then what was the need for Nididhyasim? See what he says here in page 70-71. He says, don't compare with the example of snake and rope. Only why? Only when it is said that this is a rope and not the snake, immediately problem goes away. Achha? So but here problem does not go away when you say straight away that the Atma is Brahman. Samsaritva Bhranti Brahma Swarupa Shravan Matrina Nivartate. He is putting a question. Only you are hearing that Atma is Brahman since so long. You did Vedanta course also. But that Bhranti has gone. See, you are seeing this line. 70 page last line, last word. Samsaritva Bhranti Brahma Swarupa Shravan Matrina Nivartate. Actually, it should be question mark there. He is putting a question mark. And then he is answering, Natu Nivartate. Natu Nivartate. Where it Nivartate? Shrut Brahmana api yatha purvam sukha dukkhadi. He is putting a very valid point. Only after listening so much also, sorrows and joy are same. Samsari dharmavat. Samsari dharma darshana. So earlier I was literate sad. I'm an illiterate sad, now I'm a literate sad. This is the only difference that is. As far as sadness is concerned, it is not reduced. To be frank enough, I'm telling you, na tu nivartate. Shrut Brahmanopi, all Upanishad we heard. Starting from Ishavasya, Mundak, Katha, Maitri, Paitri, all Upanishad what we had all had heard, Manduk also. But sorrow is not decreased. Sometimes I feel it is increased. So this Naradji says at one place that earlier actually there was only sorrow was that I am sansari. And said, now I feel I know still I can't practice. This new sorrow has come up. So earlier only sadness was that I was sansari, I was taken with the flow. Now new sorrow is there that I am so guilt has created another sorrow. That I know still I am behaving like a foolish person. New sorrow has germinated now. There is sorrow of guilt, and people also sometimes make me aware of that. You study so much and this is how you study. That is from another sorrow has come. So, natu nivarte. Natu nivartate. Shrut brahmana api yatha purvam. Bole, pehle ki tarah ekdam. I feel I have not changed sometimes. Sometimes I feel I become worse. So Shrud Brahmana api यथा पूर्वम सुख दुखादि संसारी धर्म दर्शनात्. क्या बात करते हैं आप. If I am saying something, and therefore Brihadaranyaka says Shrotavya Mantavya Nididhyasitavya. So Shrotavya Mantavya is for Jnana aspect, but Nididhyasitavya is the Upasana aspect. See, he is matching our what is it called, our view. Iti cha Shravana Uttar Kalayoho Manana Nididhyasanayoho Vidhi Darshanat. Therefore, after Gyan, Vidhi means injunction has been said that you should do meditation. Okay. This is his valid objection. Tasmat pratipatti vidhi vishataya eva shastra pramanakam brahma abhyupagantavyam. Therefore, I am saying that Shastra is giving an injunction for the Upasana as well, and therefore this is the Pramana. Okay. Now, तो ध्यय धातु nididhyasan, you know nididhyasa? You don't know nididhyasa. How this word has come? Dhyan word is dhyay. Dhyay chintayam. So meditate. And didhya. Didhya word. Only what is the didhya word? Arre, didhya word you don't know? Oh. Only I never knew didhya word. What is didhya word? Arre bhai, where desiderative form is there. You know desiderative? What? No. Indicating. Desirous of. Like much. What is called sanpratyay. So much, when desiderative form is used, it is one more mu is added. Mumukshu, bubukshu, jigyasa, pipasu, yujutsu. So dhyay has become didhya. So desire of meditation is called didhyasan. And nitaram, it has become nididhyasan. So nididhyasan word is indicating the desire of meditation. This is how nididhyasan word has come. Nididhyasa. So nididhyasa has become nididhyasan. Okay. If you know Sanskrit, you can enjoy more. If you don't know, then you will enjoy less. If you don't know, not that you will not understand, but the depth won't be there. Like if you know English well, you can enjoy Shakespeare more. If you don't know English well, you are trying to get the translation of Shakespeare, then you won't enjoy that much. Okay, so therefore people study that. Not that you won't understand Shakespeare, but you won't enjoy that much. Similarly, Hindi, if you don't know at all, so Ramcharitmanas, you can't enjoy that much. If you know very well, then you can know the nuances which has been used there. Therefore, some people from Germany, Germany, there are more Sanskrit colleges now. They start the class with the prayer, Sanskrit prayer. And in their own accent, their accent is little German. But I am really amazed to see their commitment to that language. Okay, therefore every day give 5-10 minutes to Sanskrit. So, see the word here. It is said nididhyasitavya. So he is saying that tavya pratyay is used for compulsory action. Vidhi is there, kartavya. This should be done. Where should be is used, there tavya pratyay, kartavya, bhoktavya, tyaktavya. You have heard tavya pratyay suffix is there. And therefore, the Upanishads are putting an injunction that Brahmopasana kartavya moksha sadhanena. For moksha, Brahmopasana should be done. He has concluded this point. Okay, see, he is little better than the Urmimansa. Now, what you will see here, the masterly stroke of Shankaracharya Bhagwan. I have already read that, I will tell that. He defines moksha from one more angle. He says that if you do upasana, moksha is not possible. Clear? And here he is not criticizing upasana. He is telling limitation of upasana. What is there? What is the limitation of upasana? Please note, before the jnana, upasana is the means for preparation. Preparation of what? Sajati vritti prabha. He has already made the habit of sticking on to one thought, vijati vritti anantaram. He has the capacity of sticking on to one thought and neglecting the opposite thought. This expertise Upasana has given. So Upasana has made him capable of leaving Annamay Kosh, Pranamay Kosh and Manomay Kosh. He can go deeper into the self. So Upasana has made him more prepared student for hearing also and for meditation also. Okay. But what he is going to criticize is that upasana after the Brahma Gyan cannot give moksha. This is the main theme. His criticism is not for the upasana before the Brahma Gyan. Now what he says here, he says that moksha is a freedom from sharir sambandha. This new definition, and this is not new, but this has come in Chandogya. Moksha is the freedom from sharir sambandha. Okay. And there he says, asharirata hi moksha. Asharirata hi moksha, because with the body only sukh dukh comes. Then what is samsara? Sasharirata hi samsara. These two definitions he will be using to prove that upasana cannot give moksha. Okay. So what is moksha? Asharirata hi moksha and sasharirata hi samsara. Okay. And here he is using this. What he is using? Here he will say, Nahi sharira apahataha priya priyuhu bhavati. So, one who is devoid of body, he will not have sukh and dukkha. See here, in page 73, this point will come. This is line 9, number 6 or 7th line. Nahi sa sharirasya yatah satah priya priyo apahati asti. So one who is along with the body, sharir satah. Satah means being along with, like sun. So if one is along with the body, priya priyayoho. Priya priyo means sukh and dukh. apahata asti. He cannot be dissociated with sukh and dukh. Very good. How he quotes. To put his point, therefore we call him Shruti Smriti Purana Nam Alayam. Somewhere he'll bring Mahabharata, sometimes Manusmriti, sometimes that Purana, sometimes this. Now he has brought Chandogya. If you are very well, you are enriched, it is not to convince others, to convince yourself. Shruti, difference between Sansari and Sadhak is, when Sansari, now there are people who talk on management of Gita. But they talk for others. Sadhak talks for himself. He has no intention to improve others. So if you learn something, you only can convince yourself. Others are not interested. Therefore I said, even if one person is there, talk. Because whether you talk in front of 100 or one, preparation is same. You have to prepare quite a bit. And during the preparation, you have to be focused. And while you prepare and you think, there are many new thoughts will come up. And you reflect on your life also. You will reflect on words also. अरे बोले दिमाग खराब हो जाता है हमारा, क्या करें. सो नहीं सशरीरस्य सतः, सतः मतलब रहते हुए, being with the body. Priya priyayoh apahati. Apahati means divide off. You cannot be devoid of sorrow and not jaro. You cannot be devoid of sorrow and joy, being associated with the body. Okay. And next line you see, underline those two lines. Ashariram vava santam. And if, देखो ये सन संतौ संता है, and santam is accusative, ekvachan. So, ashariram vava santam, that if one is devoid of the body, priya priye na sprashataha, the sorrows and joy don't touch him. Na you can bring before sprashataha. So, ashariram vava santam, priya priye na sprashataha, because it is dual number. So, sprashati, sprashataha, sprashanti. Priya is there, like phalam phale phalani. So priyam is neutral gender. So when a person is devoid of the body, devoid of, don't understand death, devoid of identification, you can take. Devoid of the identification with the body, he is not being touched by sorrow and joy. Okay, this is the central theme he will be holding, and he will be building all his ideas around this theme only. So please get this point. After that, now we are coming to the point. So what is moksha? Ashariram vavasat. Being devoid of the body is moksha. Only what is the fruit if I get? If I get moksha, I will not be touched by these sorrows and joys of the body. If you know I am not, if somebody praises this wall, you are not affected. If somebody praises this wall is very good, or somebody praises the road, you are not, when somebody walks on the road, you never feel he's walking on me. And somebody, dead body is going on the road, you don't feel that this dead body is going on me. Or somebody, if Bhagwan's Murti is going on the road, you don't feel that Murti is going on me, I have become holy. Similarly, moksha means one who has disconnected with the body. He sees the body as a lump of a clay, a lump of 5 elements. But it is life 5 elements. It is life 5 element. It is energized life 5 element is there. And this is not a life 5 element because subtle body is not there. but it is no good than the lump of clay. Okay, so if you feel like doing makeup, you please think, I am just decorating a lump of clay. And if I talk in the language of Odia Baba, well, I say, not good to listen but hear that, because dispassion is very much required. He said decorating the body is like decorating the fecal material. I told you that he will talk like that. So if you feel like putting, some perfume, or you feel like putting some, I want to go through my eyebrows, I want to cut, or I want to go waxing, all these things. If you feel like, please remember these words. Therefore I said, don't say it outside. Don't say outside to the ordinary person. They won't come in your class only. See, he said in somebody's house in Johannesburg, in Grahastha's house, a new person was there. That children etc. are false. यही बोला था ना? What did you say? Huh? Shlok, whatever is there. He stopped her from coming. Truth remains the truth, but her breakfast, whatever she was getting, that left, that went away. That's a bigger loss. Some tea, coffee must be there after the talk. You know? So at that time, don't use this word. Bhaj Govindam, as we take in front of Brahmachari is different, and Bhaj Govindam as we take in front of Grahast is different. Both way has to be different. They are not ready to hear those truth. Anyway, so with body, he is associated with joys and sorrows. Without body, he is dissociated with joy and sorrow. Okay. Then what you want to say? Bhashyakar says, bhai, karma and upasana both are action. Karma is a kayik karma and upasana is a mansik karma. Upasana is a mansik karma, and both have karta. So what is the definition of karma? You have heard. Kartrutva purvak, or any action which is vidhi nishedhatmak karma done along with the doership is karma. So I'm repeating it. Vidhi nishedhatmak karma done along with doership is called karma. Any karma is not called karma even if doership is there. This definition is incomplete, that anything which is a doership has is called karma. Somebody takes a stick and hits on the water. Or something which makes me tired is karma. It is not karma. If you hit with the stick on the water, you will be tired, but that will not be called karma. And you can say also, I am been morning till evening, I am been eating. But it is neither vidhi nor nisheth. There is no vidhi. Scripture do not say that you should hit the water. Or scriptures do not say that you should not hit the water. If scripture had mentioned something about hit the water and not they hit the water, then it would have been called karma. Got my point? So, vidhi nishedhatmak kartrutva purvak की जाने वाली क्रिया. So action which is with the vidhi and nishedh along with the doership. Okay. Then it becomes a karma. Oh. These are important points. So I will say somebody is spitting on the water. That has become karma now. Because spitting on the water is said we should not spit on the water. Because water is a devata there. Okay. That becomes a karma now. Whenever, don't do like that. Do like that. Eating non-veg becomes karma now. Why? Because it has been prohibited in general. Beating somebody will become karma now. Any action will not become karma. Okay? Now, he is saying, Bhashyakar is saying that there is something called upasana is also a karma. Well, I agree that upasana is karma. Listen, first, you when you are talking, I was not speaking. When I am speaking, you also keep quiet. So, when the upasana is being done, well, why the fruits are different? Fruits are different because of the quantitative difference in the upasana and qualitative difference in the upasana. And taratamya will come. Taratamya means more and less. Got my point? Quantitative difference and qualitative difference. Oh. And therefore somebody with the upasana, he will get bigger karma, bigger fruit, and somebody will get lesser fruit. You do only 5 malas, somebody gets 25 malas. You went to Kailash once, somebody went 12 times. Right? You went to Kedarnath once, I have not got once also. So, and somebody has gone 12 times. So there is a quantitative difference. Okay. You do Vishnu Sahasranam only once in a month, he does it every day. अब difference तो हो जाएगा. Like Rudram is there. So one is Atirudram, Lagurudram, Maharudram. So when you do more, adhikasya adhikam phalam. Somebody did only 5 work and somebody did 25 work. So naturally you will give more fruit to the one who has done 25 work. So don't think that only upasana. Second point. While you are doing upasana, what was the quality of your upasana? It is called qualitative difference. How much your mind was engaged into it. 50%, 20%, or 5%. Which percentage of mind was engaged into it when you were doing the upasana? Were you intense or you were not intense? Same 8 factors which I had mentioned, that also will go there. I am doing jap and mind is running away. I am doing puja and I forgot what? Which step I was doing. Mind was somewhere else. I didn't know whether to do Visarjan first or Ahavan first. So I forgot everything. Sometimes you really forget. You had kept something to offer, supposing milk or water. You did Aarti, forgot that it has to be offered. Then you see both. And you see time also. Now earlier you have done Agarbatti, Aarti is over. Now you feel, shall I bring it back and do again? Kaise kare yaar, kya kare yaar? This will also get waste now. That means your mind was somewhere else. So this phal will be new. Your mind was not focused while doing the action. Or you didn't wipe shivling properly. While wiping, you dropped it on the vidhi is also important. Vidhi. So how you wiped, you don't know. And while wiping, you sneezed also on shivling. So क्या करे भाई? So this is called Mukha Abhishek. So I gave Abhishek through something else. Now you wonder, अब क्या करें? So then you should give Abhishek. Say sorry and do Abhishek. But it will take time. Or while doing, your shivling slipped. And it slipped and you don't know where it has gone. Now you are searching where it has gone. Now next day, maid while cleaning, mopping, she brought out. This vidhi is not followed, and you do such funny things, then Shivji will be not very happy with you. So fruit will be less. So quantitative difference, qualitative difference, vidhi, and sometimes dravya also. How many dravya? Your capacity is too much and you are investing very little. Right? For you, yourself, you more than 400, 500 is your per day cost. If you include electricity, petrol, clothes. And God, you are just spending 5 rands. So that is not right. Conjuice person. So because of these factors, there is a gradation in the punya. This has been said here. What is said here, I am just putting it in a very simple language. I'll come back to it. And that gradation is called तारतम्यम. So कर्म कैसे बोलेंगे in Sanskrit? कर्म फल भूत पुण्य अपि तारतम्यम वर्तते. So there is a तारतम्य is more and less. And because of this, we get varieties of body. Body is variety. Anything, a dog is also varieties. Some dogs of actresses, dogs are there. They go in the car everywhere. One is street dog. The dogs also have diseases. They also have arthritis. They have a bad death. Some are crushed. Some have, what is it called, that insect? Tick is there, set is there. They can't take it out. And some are cleaned. Some dogs are there, their owners love them a lot. They clean their dogs and they take care of that dog. They play with the dog. Dog is also very good, very lovable dog is there. One is a street dog you don't want to see. So it depends what punya he has done to become which dog. Not all dogs are same. So the body will be dependent on the upasana. What do you want to say? I want to say that punya can give different kind of bodies. Well, yes, I know that. So what you know? That punya can give sashariratvam. Punya cannot give ashariratvam. This is the point. That punya which has come from the upasana, it will always give various kinds of bodies. If you are very high class, you may get a Brahmalok body, Devata body. So any amount of karma and upasana will give you sashariratvam, and sashariratvam will give you priya and apriya, that means joy and sorrow, and that is called sansar. Being happy and sad, remember that erratic, illogical, uncertain, insecure movement of sorrow and joy in I is called samsara. You have heard it 100 times. And therefore, upasana leading to bodies, bodies leading to priya and apriya. Priya and apriya means sorrow and joy, and that is called bandhan. Upasana can never lead to a shariratva. This is his main points. How do you say, like karma taking to punya, punya taking to sasharir, sasharir taking to sukhduk, sukhduk taking to sansar. So that means upasana will take you to samsara only. This is the bottom line. So all these are synonymous. My God. So upasana is synonymous to samsara. Yes. Upasana, shariratvam, priya apriya, then sukhduk, then sansar, all these are synonymous. So as long as you are upasak, only you will be samsari at the end. At the end of the day, you will be samsari. My God, yes. Your samsara won't be going there. If you are doing the upasana without knowledge. If upasana is not for knowledge, then upasana will take you. If upasana is for knowledge, then upasana will take you chitta shuddhi. then upasana will give you sadhan chatushta. It will give you vairagya. You can become anybody. You can bring Pururava. You can become Urvashi. You can become Rambha. Or you can become Daksh Prajapati. Depending on what your karma is there, you can bring, gradation is there. My dear, you are saying that Gyan plus Upasana will take you to moksha. I have a heavy objection that Upasana cannot take you to moksha, because going to any lok is not called moksha, because moment you go to lok, it will be always sa-shariri. You will always have a body to go to lok. Example was Jai Vijay. Jai Vijay did so much punya. So much punya was there that whenever Bhagwan Vishnu was entering, going, every time they had darshan of Lord Vishnu only. People here, if they have darshan of Lord Vishnu in the dream, they feel very happy. So amount of sadhana they must have done to get their guards. Therefore Salokya Mukti is there, Sayujya Mukti is there, Sashti Mukti is there, Sarupya Mukti is there. Imagine the amount of punya they must be having. But Sa-Sharir they were not without Sharir. But little they did the mistake of stopping Sanat Kumar. And Sanat Kumar cursed them, they became now demons now. But when they were demons, then also they were very rich demons. They were very high class demons. So Brahma ji, all devatas were under their control. So my point is, Upasana will always give you Sa-Sharir, and Sa-Sharir will not take your samsara away. This is the main thing which you are not understanding. And therefore, Upasana phalam moksham na bhavati karhichit kadachit kenchit. The fruit of Upasana cannot become moksha as you are trying to put, because you will be with body in the Upasana and you will always be, you will have a bigger body. It will never take away sorrow forever. In the Swarg also, there are sorrows are there. Swarg also sorrows are there. Of course, it is lesser sorrows there. Now, Brihaspati ji had a wife called Tara. You know what happened after that? Story you know? Chandrama was fond of Tara. Hello. And Chandrama kidnapped Tara. अब बृहस्पति जी was restless there. बोले हमारी वाइफ ही चली गई यार. अब Chandrama said, no, you don't deserve Tara because she is very good looking and you are not good looking. Simple thing is there. So by chance she became your wife. But actually, Brihaspati ji said, whatever you say, but she is married. We have did some prarabdha was there. If the looks is your criteria, so then you should have thought before marriage. Because she got married to me in the Agni Kund, therefore she is my wife. He said, I don't care about that. Your logic I don't understand. अब यहाँ वहां भी ये सब होता है. बड़ा झगड़ा लड़ाई हुआ भाई इन लोगों में. You read Puranas. Puranas are very interesting. हमको लगा इस स्वर्ग में भी इन लोग गड़बड़ करते हैं. Ultimately, Brahma ji had to intervene. There somebody bigger had to intervene. So Brahma ji, and by the time this Tara gave birth to child also, to make the matter worst. Who's the child of Chandrama? Buddha. Buddha is the child of Buddha. The Buddha पैदा हो गए. And now, whose son is this? The question came. Is it the Chandrama's son or Brihaspati's son? Now, this Chandrama was also quiet. And Brihaspati was also quiet. And Tara was also quiet. बड़ा complication. Then this Buddha जो है ना, this Buddha, he shouted on Tara. He said, why don't you tell that I'm your child? Why are you keeping quiet? Chandi, why are you keeping quiet? So then it was discovered that he is Chandrama, I mean this Buddha is a child through Chandrama. Therefore Chandrama and Buddha are, if in the same, they are powerful. The Graha in the astrology. But Brahaspati said, whatever is there, but Tara is my wife. Still I will not give up, she is my wife. Brahmaji said, see Chandrama, don't do wrong things. She is now his wife because she is wedded like that. Chandrama said, ठीक है भाई, you are saying, I'm accepting it. He went back empty-handed. So there also, in that sthiti also, I wonder, dukh does not go. There is court is not there. There is no diseases. There is no court in Swarga. There is no police. There is no doctors. There is no headache. There is no stomach ache. Why? Sharir is different. But Sharir is there. Without Sharir, you cannot get the fruit of action. This is what Shankaracharya's point is. He is saying upasana phalam moksham na bhavati. Moksha na sambhavati rather. It is not possible that the fruit of upasana will be moksha. Why? Because upasana phalam sa-shariratvam eva bhavati. And yada hi sa-shariratvam tada priye priye bhavatah. Yada priye priye, priya priye, priya na priye bhavatah, tada samsaritvam eva vartate. Then therefore upasana phal will not take you out of a samsaritva. It will definitely be taking to some kind of samsar. Ataha moksha asambhavati. This is conclusion. You will see this in the bhashya. Okay. Na tu karmana, na upasanena. Upasana is used as upasanena also and upasanaya also. It is used as neuter also. It is used as striling also. Now, he came back, this, who? Vrittikar, VK. So, he said, why can't you say that Brahmupasana gives a shariratvam? I am wanting to say that Brahmupasana can give a shariratvam. Only why? But why you want to say that it gives a shariratvam? Yes. So you accept existence of Brahman. I accept it. I already said I accept it. Brahman is revealed by Shastra. I accept. Rather, he has given commentary on Brahma Sutra also. This Vrittikar. So what you want to say? I am wanting to say that Brahma upasana janya punyena moksha siddhyati. Still, how? I am saying Brahma upasana will give a shariratvam as the fruit. Oh. So earlier you were saying that from upasana you will get sasharir. I am saying that if you do Brahma upasana, you will get a shariratvam. You only said, no, ashariratahi moksha. Well, yes. You only said that sashariratahi bandhanam. Yes. So sharir sambandha bhava abhavabhyam bandha moksha. शरीर संबंध भाव अभावाभ्याम बंध मोक्ष. With the association of the body is bandhan and with the dissociation of the body is moksha. शरीर संबंध भाव अभावाभ्याम मोक्ष बंधो. Okay. So you want to say that the fruit of Brahmopasana will be, I'm saying the fruit of Brahmopasana will be ashariratvam. This is his new argument. Okay. Achha. Well, but I just now explained that Upasana will give you only the fruit. If you read Taittiriya Upanishad, sa eko manusha ananda, te ye shatam manusha ananda. So there is a Tartam Manushya, then Manushya Gandharv, then Dev Gandharv, then this Andhar, then ultimately they want to Indra, Indrasya, फिर Brahaspati Ananda, फिर Brahma Ananda. Well, why don't you accept that from Upasana you can get ashariratva? Because this Brahma Upasana is more powerful than other Upasana. So all Upasana can give sharir, but this Brahma Upasana will give asharir. Supposing I say like that, what is your problem? I have a problem. Anything I say, you have a problem. Yes. Not anything. Listen one thing. Asharirata cannot be the result of karma and upasana. Very beautiful point. Asharirata. Why? Because asharirata is the nature of Atma. Nature is something which cannot be brought and cannot be dropped. It is nitya siddh. It is intrinsic. Oh. So you for upasana and karma, so upasana can bring sadhya. Upasana cannot bring something siddh. Asharirata is nitya siddham. How can sadhya and siddh be same? Got the point. Asharirata is siddh. Siddh means already existing. And sadhya means which will be at some time. How can same thing is available here and now and will be for later on? I'll get it later on. So same thing cannot be siddha and sadhya. So asharirata is nitya siddha. Siddha moksha can never be sadhya phalam. Got it? Siddha moksha can never be. So how can you say asharirata of anybody will be attained after upasana? Asharirata of Atma will be attained. That is not possible. I hope this point is very important and it has to be clear. Only Atma is without body. Atma has no body. How can you say, Arey, whole Upanishads are full of this divyo yamurtah purusha, amurtah sabhaya abhyantaro yajara, yat tad adreshyam, Mundakitkim, adreshyam, word which cannot be seen, agotram, achakshu, apanipadam, nityam vibhum, etc. Is Mundak it says also. Then Ishavasya said, Yat shukram akayam avranam asnavirgam shuddham apapa vidham kavir manishi paribhu swayambhu. So it has been asnavirgam shuddham akayam. The Atma does not have a body. Oh. No body it has. No, it has neither subtle body nor gross body nor causal body. Atma does not have any body. Therefore, from the upasana, you are trying to attain that thing which is already attained, which is nitya siddha in yourself. This is the point to be noted. So, asharirata hi moksham. Don't forget this point. And sasharirata is samsara. This has been, therefore I showed you in the bhashya also what is it. Okay. So, what is the end result? End result is moksha na upasana sadhya. Then, nitya chaitanyatvat. सिद्धत्वात् चैतन्यवत् मोक्ष न उपासना साध्य सिद्धत्वात् चैतन्यवत्. The long description is there in the Samanvaya Bhashya. This is the longest Bhashya in this portion. Now he comes with another objection, which I will see tomorrow. He says, tell me one thing. You are saying that moksha is asharirata. That means person has to die. If anybody gets moksha, I don't want a moksha, because if I die, who will? Then new point he has said that we will see tomorrow. Please read the Bhashya when you are free. You will get all the answers in the Bhashya. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.